In the past 3 months, I've had 4 different individuals ask me, Derek, what should I buy for my home workout gym? I'm looking to move away from going to regular gyms and just want to try working out from home to save some time. Now, each of these individuals were some kind of family or friend, so I do care about one, how much money they are spending on their home gym equipment, that it's easy, and that they can get results without trying to spend too much time or headache getting them in the end. And those conversations quickly turn into, I recommend they get dumbbells and then use body weight in order to achieve their results. The main reason being is that it is simple to pick up, do, and get in the work from home without trying to figure out how to do the exercises, how much everything is going to cost. It's going to be some crazy expensive item, and that stores very well in your house or apartment. Now, I do have other home gym builds or setups that I have and could recommend. Some even cheaper, like the resistance bands is quite a bit cheaper overall. The main reason I tend to not recommend that for beginners is that some exercises, as shown in the video I'm putting on screen, can be difficult to learn and do properly with resistance bands. So you might actually want to be someone who's worked out for a little bit before moving into that route. Now, you could definitely start as a beginner, but it isn't my top recommendation when it comes to ease of use when just picking up and trying to use them and then making sure someone is consistent in the long run. That doesn't mean it won't work, and it doesn't mean that resistance bands won't be something they can use and implement in the future. Maybe it is best for them based on how they work out, but again, I tend to veer towards the dumbbells and body weight because of simplicity. There's tons and tons of videos showing you how to do exercises online, and overall, they're in the middle ground in terms of price for most people. The other option I could throw at them is something like the Speediance Gym Monster, and everyone's going to know why I don't want to recommend this one, and that is because of the price. Now, the device is awesome. It actually doesn't take up very much space. You can get 220 pounds of resistance. You can even pull up all of their programs. They have tons on there now that you can use and follow along with. But again, the price is the number one thing that holds me back from recommending it. Now, there are people I think could afford it that I speak to, but it's hard for me to recommend that product unless you know you can afford it. So if you're just someone looking to start out, just trying to get in the game of being consistent, throwing a ton of money at a product, unless you really think you are going to use it for years and years and years, especially one that's a couple $1,000s, is what I'm probably not going to recommend unless you can convince me otherwise. And not only that, dumbbells and bodyweight are what I started with and did for close to 10 years before ever moving to anything else. It's only in the last couple of years that I've actually gone into the resistance bands and smart gyms or Speediance style of home gym setups. So I got really good results for the average person. I'm not like some bodybuilder or anything like that, but I got pretty good results with just doing body weight and dumbbells from home. I actually use doorway pull-up bars. I have my dip bar station. I have things of that nature. Yes, they're not the cheapest things in the world. They were cheaper back then. They're getting more expensive now. But again, I got really good results, which is very simple and basic equipment. You don't need to make things extremely difficult. You just need to make sure you are putting in enough effort with the equipment you have in order to get a stimulus to tell the body it needs to build muscle when you are resting. As long as you get enough rest, sleep, nutrition, hydration, and all of the rest, reduce stress, all that stuff, you will see some results in time based on your genetics and ability to actually build muscle with your bodily structure and build. And this is going to be different for everyone. So you're not going to improve at the same rate as someone else. You might fly by someone that you have started, who's maybe even started before you. You might get better results than them, even following the exact same plan. But you might fall behind someone else who has just better genetics than you and gets better recovery. So all of this stuff comes into play. I'm just trying to figure out how do I make it as easy as I can as possible for people to get started, because that is the hard part. And then being consistent for years and years and years later. So again, trying to just figure out what I can get people to begin with and then follow up with in the long run. That's why I try and make programs that are like 20 to 30 minutes, 45 minutes max per workout, that are only like a couple days per week, 2 to 3 days max per week, and that fit into people's schedules, are things that people can easily follow along with and do, and then aim to progress them in time and get better and better. Those that see some results early on are probably going to be the ones that stick it out. But again, it's going to come down to lifestyle, work, family, things that might get in the way. All of that's going to become big factors, and the ones that I can figure out a way to fit into that schedule nicely are the ones that are going to stick around, especially if it's easy to just pick up the things and do the exercises. So again, while I could throw all these fancy things out there, again, I have a ton of setups that are cheaper than this. and ones that are more expensive that can do a lot of other things, I still always default back to the dumbbells and bodyweight. It just has worked for me. It's worked for many, many, many other people. It's a good home solution, great apartment home solution if you don't own like a full house. So a lot of this stuff comes into play in my decisions. And again, it's why I always recommend even to those people that they just look to start with dumbbells and bodyweight and see if they want to add on to more from there. Something you might want to add on it as an additional piece is something just like a small resistance band set, just so you can do some assistance work on some of the bodyweight exercises. But other than that, you really don't need the full build unless you want to progress it when you like 6 months to a year down the line. So with that, here is a video going over some of the items I have in my home gym and the workout that I do. So take a look, see if it fits for you. Also head over to GamerBody.com and see my most updated plan that you can do and follow along with the dumbbell exercises and movement patterns to get the results that you are looking for from the comfort of home.